So today I thought it would be fun to check out some cool people on the internet like me, not saying that I'm cool, they're cool, and we do similar things. I basically put into YouTube search things I noticed in Ireland, Irish things and such, and these are the top videos that came up. So I'll be checking them out today and listening to what they have to say.
To suggest she overcomplicated what should have been a simple introduction is putting it mildly.
Before I get into the video, do be sure to subscribe, otherwise the next time you go to the supermarket and buy your favourite thing, you're going to get it home and realise, oh no, it's out of date. That must be the Irish subscriber curse, because I didn't subscribe, so subscribe. I'm in a funny mood. Okay, let's check out some of these cool people. Who do we have first? Oh, we have these two pretty girls. Aren't they gorgeous? Damn. Let's see what they have to
everybody knows about the whole skinny jean trend. I mean, obviously there are guys here that wear skinny jeans as well. But I feel like Ireland takes it to a whole nother level.
And beyond skinny jeans.
Skinny. Like,
it was leggings.
Leggings with pockets. That's all I'm gonna say. And it wasn't even the girls, like the female Irish population.
No, because like
they wore like the high-waisted, like
jumpsuit kind of style. Like that's all in style.
Not for everyone.
What was she gonna say about our style?
Oh, yeah, of course, but the majority.
This might be a European thing in general, not just Ireland.
That was one thing we definitely noticed. Even our tour guide, when we were with Patty Tours, he made a comment on there, and he said, especially in Cork, because it's like, he said where like the hippies live, they wear like super tight
and like
jeans.
he's the one that brought it to our attention how tight the guys' pants were.
Okay, yes, no, we do. What? Yes, we do wear a lot of skinny jeans in Ireland. It's actually quite annoying because my preference is not for skinny jeans. For some reason, I've always preferred a boot cut or a slight flare. But that's not fashionable, so I wear skinny jeans. I have, however, noticed a certain type of man goes excessive on skinny jeans. And personally speaking, I don't love a very, very, very skinny jean on a man. It makes their legs just look... And it just doesn't do it for me. I'm being honest, okay? I'm not judging. It just doesn't do it for me. Especially when they get their jeans so tight that their boxers are sticking out the top of them. It's just not a good look, in my opinion. That's not Bible. It's just my opinion. Also, I'm not sure what they meant about Cork and hippies. Cork is basically second Dublin. There's a big argument over what the real capital city of Ireland is. It's Dublin, but anyway, I don't think it's full of hippies. Really?
Another thing that I've noticed, I actually did notice this first, and then I had another local girl, the Irish girl, tell me as well. They don't seem to wear as many colorful clothing.
Like bright colors.
Bright colors. Yeah. Like they don't wear bright colors.
Because like one time she was wearing like a pink and red sweater.
And I did notice like I just kind of stood out like a lot more than I wanted to.
But then we went to like a cafe to say, oh my gosh,
and she's like, I love your bright sweater. I forgot how we got a topic. She brought up to my attention like we don't wear bright colors like that. She's like, I have this blue coat that I just love and I wanted to wear it out, but every time I wear it out, I feel so uncomfortable in it because it's like bright blue. She's, but I love the jacket so much, and she's like, but seeing you, she's like, I think I'm gonna start.
Oh, she just sounds like a nice girl.
You inspired someone.
She was really sweet. If you do wear bright colored clothing,
just be prepared to stand out.
Okay, so what I would say on that is yes, we do, especially in the winter, autumn months, wear darker colors. I think that's just a seasonal thing. I think up until maybe a certain year, people were a little bit more conservative in their attire in Ireland. I'm actually not too sure what year that video came out, but it could stand to have been true when they visited. I think in recent years, there's definitely more of an anything goes kind of attitude toward clothes. People wear crazy stuff, especially around the likes of Temple Bar, where people are like very creative and arty. I don't think there was any point that jumper would have stood out, so I would imagine the girl who was talking to her in the restaurant was just doing the self-deprecating Irish thing. That's just something we do to relate to people. But I did find their observations about the leggings to be pretty much spot on, so well done them. Oh my god, it's Joel and Leah! I'm gonna do my best Joel and Leah impression. Hi, I'm Joel. Hi, I'm Leah. They're so cute. Cute, cute, cute. What do they have to say about Irish things?
Hello and welcome to British English with Joel and Leah.
They didn't do the intro! I'm so sad.
The next one is Aoife, which, how do you say it? Alfie.
Pronounced Aoife.
Aoife. I used to think that this was Fiona backwards.
Oh, they're so cute.
I've got the giggles.
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm actually laughing along with them because I know a guy from London who went out with a girl called Aoife from Ireland, and he literally used to call his girlfriend Uff. Because he couldn't pronounce her name. He just called her Uff. He was like, alright, Uff, you coming out? And we were like, her name is Aoife. Just, it's your girlfriend. Get her name right. They didn't last that long, but...
Sorry, it's not funny. It's a real Irish name and I need to be able to take it seriously. So the next one is Donacha.
Donacha.
Not Don Chad or Don Chadach.
Or Donach.
Donach.
Still not
I know a
pronouncing it
Donacha.
right there,
You used to
Joel.
live with one, didn't you?
No.
No, just your mate.
Just my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'd always just call him Don Chad.
Or Dawn.
Just for fun. Dawn?
Yeah, Dawn.
Don was his name.
Which sounds a little bit like the English name Dawn.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think they're still getting it wrong a little bit. It's more like, again, Irish name spelling is just crazy. But it's more like Donacha. So it's D-U-N, even though it's spelled D-O-N-N. I know. Irish people, what can I say? We just try and squeeze as many vowels in our authentic Irish names as we can. And then just go with a completely different saying. I'm not surprised people internationally are thrown. Okay, this guy has a lot of subscribers. So I'm going to say his insight's going to be very spot on.
Irish people love to take the piss. I don't think they use that phrase, but what it means is they love to joke around with you. And it's just their way of getting to know whether or not they're going to like you or not. Is how much they can make fun of you.
Yes.
And again, there's no harm in this. It's not in a mean way. And Americans might take this personally, but don't. Because it's not meant to be that. What I've done is I've compartmentalized it into 3 categories. Level 1 is if the Irish make fun of you, and then you just laugh at it. And agree that it is funny. That's level 1. If you can take it and it's okay. Level 2 is if they make fun of you and then you kind of give it back in rebuttal and you also make fun of them. So if they say like, hey, wow, you woke up really ugly today, you could say like, oh, did you take a look at yourself? Like, I don't know, something like that. Level 3 is if they make fun of you and then you also make fun of yourself. Because to the Irish, that self-deprecating humor is the most hilarious to them, apparently.
Bang on.
And it actually shows that you have even more confidence in yourself if you're able to make fun of yourself in a joking way.
He got it perfect there at the end. The first one and the third one, yes. Definitely, if somebody teases you in a nice way, you can also tease yourself. That is the perfect response. A very wrong response, and I have to disagree with him on this one, is trying to jump in with a put down back. I would just say most Americans are not well versed enough to know how to do this correctly, and sometimes the American humor can come off a little bit aggressive in that scenario. So my thoughts are, if a person is being jovial with you and slagging, aka teasing, the best thing to do is to kind of just go along with it or just laugh. Don't throw something back unless you really know what you're doing. Walter! I love Walter. He's a legend on YouTube, and also I love how his name is spelt differently than how I would spell Walter. I just like this man's face. He just seems nice.
Don't think you're going to get out of Ireland without meeting some Irish people. Look, the people in Ireland are super friendly, and they will come and talk to you. Even if you want to have some time alone, enjoying music and having a pint, they're going to say hi. They're going to come talk to you. They're going to give you tips and advice of where to go, where to eat, what sights to see, where to stay, all these things, because the people here are fantastic. And that's one of the great things about Ireland, are the Irish people. From their sense of humor and their way to them making a little bit of fun of you. You know, I can't tell how many times I've had, oh, I see you enjoyed our Irish stew quite a bit. I'm like, yes I did.
Again, he's just going with the flow of the Irish humor. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Irish people are very friendly in a different way, again, than Americans or even Canadians. I think with Irish people, you have to just be a little bit more cautious than you would be with an American, in the sense that if an American invites you to come for a drink with them, they really mean it. Whereas if an Irish person asks you to come for a drink with them, they might really mean it, or they might not mean it at all. They're just being friendly. An Irish person will usually help you, though, if you need some information or whatever, unless they're an arsehole, and we have those types of people too. This girl's set is amazing. I have set envy. Wow. Aww.
So yeah, the speed limit signs looked The same as the speed limit signs in Germany. It was a white circle with a red ring around it. But then in Ireland, there were also yellow, what I would call American-looking signs on the road. So you had this real mix of sign style in Ireland.
That's true.
Some of the signs looked like the ones that I've seen in the rest of Europe, and then some of the signs looked like the ones that I'm used to seeing in the US.
That is very true. In Ireland, a lot of our stuff is kind of a hybrid of American and European culture. A lot of our stuff is kind of just a mishmash of both. I like to think we take the good bits from both and just incorporate them here. I can see why that would be interesting for an outsider to observe. I never thought about it before.
And then the way that English was used sometimes really shocked me too. Words or phrases used in a totally different way that I'd never heard of before. There were, of course, signs for house to let and mind the step. And when driving out of a couple different towns, I saw signs reminding people to belt up, which I thought was an interesting way to put it because in the US, I've always heard it as buckle up, not belt up.
Well, as you guys know, language is something that I find inherently interesting. We all use the English language totally differently. And I don't know, I just find that to be exciting. Yes, we say seat belts rather than buckles. A buckle would be something on your trouser belt. But then if you're on a plane, you'd call that a buckle. Because it is a buckle, because it has a clasp. A belt goes across you like that. That girl had so much energy. I do not have that much energy. I'm sorry. I try. Oh, look at this lovely couple. Don't they look so nice? I bet they go hiking together. I bet they never fight with each other. They just look like, I bet they just don't, they just look like a nice couple. What's that like? One of them is German and one of them is American. Let's see.
What's been your favorite part of living in Ireland? Would you stay if you could?
So I feel like the only way I could really stay in Ireland is if we had our own place, if we had a car, and if our home was warmer, because that's one of the other things, is that this house is not very well isolated, and so I'm always freezing to death and wearing a bathrobe to survive. So I would need that to change
Bathrobe,
in order to stay. But I feel like all the things that I was dissatisfied with were really just more things that were limitations for our financial situation and not in Ireland.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, normal for young 20-somethings. So
I could totally imagine living here.
Me too.
Because also for me that the career perspectives here are really great. So when it's time for that, then I might reconsider coming back to Dublin.
I love all the castles everywhere.
Yeah.
And we have a castle down the road, and it's just magical.
Oh, it's just funny she spoke about castles because she looks like a Disney princess. I would totally agree with their points again. Ireland is difficult to find good accommodation in. You can get yourself a fantastic 3-4 bed house, but you'll be in the middle of nowhere unless you are earning a lot of money. In the cities, Dublin, Cork, Galway, it is very, very tough to find affordable accommodation. They were talking about how their house isn't well insulated, and I think that is definitely the case in a lot of older houses, although their house looks really modern that they're staying in. But yeah, it's always a toss-up in Ireland. Do you want to be in the middle of nowhere in an amazing place, or do you want to be close to everything in a smaller place? And even though everything is so close together, if everybody in a small town is trying to get out on one of those tiny roads, yeah, it's not as manageable as you would think, because you'd be stuck in a traffic jam for somewhere that's an hour away and you could be actually stuck in the car for 2.5 hours. That was really interesting. I actually really enjoyed that. There are so many other YouTubers talking about Ireland, so let me know if you enjoyed this video below in the comments, and if you did, maybe share it with a friend, because if it gets good views, I'll do another one. It's all about the views, yo. It's also interesting for me to look at other YouTubers and their setups and stuff. I feel impossibly inferior. Although, you know, we stepped it up with the fairy lights this year, so I'm an accomplished human being too. Today's video goes out to everybody who's feeling a little low in 2020. It's going to be okay. 2021 is not that far away, and it's going to be an amazing year. Touch wood. Bye. My earring, it hurts my ear. Fell down there. That's a pretty face. I should do that. Hello. Hello, YouTube. Where did Chewie go?